All right, we are revisiting the iSta i500. Now, whenever I get a new turbine, I do 2 tests on all of them before I put them up in the air. That is an open voltage test, and then I do a very basic load test on a bench. Do everything with a drill, and basically we just see what we can do. Right now I have it wired up to a 3-phase bridge and just a voltmeter. We're going to see what open voltage is, and then we are going to connect it to a load. Now, I got this grid tie inverter. It's a cheap Chinese grid tie inverter that I've wanted to find a way to test. I've had a really hard time getting any of my turbines to work with it, even rewiring some of my F&P motors to try and get them to work with the thing, and they don't like it. I've just struggled to keep underneath this 30-volt AC input. We're going to see if maybe it'll work with this thing. This thing is supposed to be a 12-volt turbine, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, open voltage test. Hopefully we can see the meter. Yeah, it's got a pretty good view of the meter. So 31.5 volts. Now this drill runs right about 1500 RPM. That's probably a little less than that. We're going to see if it'll do the same, go in the other direction. Nearly 40 volts going the other way. 32. I said 40. Nearly 34 volts going counterclockwise, 32 volts going clockwise. So that's neat. All right, now we are going to hook it up to the load and see what kind of voltage it will do then. All right. Or not voltage, wattage. Okay, we've got it hooked up to the input over there. We're gonna point this at my poor abused meter. The poor thing has gone through a lot. Okay, and then I've got my tack set up on the drill. You see what wattage and what RPM. Okay, right there, that 3 or 4 watts, that started, right as it was starting to pull load off of this thing, that was at 500 RPM. That 128 watts was at 100. I'm sorry, that 128 watts was at 1,100 RPM. Okay, we're going to do one last test. Now this is closer to how I've done this in the past by just hooking the turbine up to a battery on the bench and seeing what we get. Just in case, maybe we're losing some power through that inverter. Oh, we're going to give this a go. Now I would use my tack. I'm afraid that my my reading earlier is going to be a little off because this thing was reading about 2 or 3 times as high as what I was going just a moment ago. I don't know if it was doing that earlier. I'm not really sure. I don't think my RPM is going to be super accurate, but in the end, it's how much work is done. So again, this is going full tilt, and we'll see what kind of wattage it makes here. Okay, 130 watts. I think that that's just what it's going to do on the bench. Now, that's not necessarily what it's going to do in the air. I've had a lot of these turbines that basically what they do is they get the drill up to the most the drill can kick out, and they kind of balance. I think the biggest I've seen is out of my bigger drills. I was able to get 250 watts out of my out of the Healy. Once it's in the air, I generally get a lot better. It making 130 watts here on the bench with this setup is somewhat promising. So our next step is to get it up on the pole. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to pull down the washing machine motor and put it up there, or it might be time for this one to go. I don't know yet. We'll do one or the other. I think I kind of leaning towards using that pole for the stuff that I make in my shop. So we'll probably take that one down and put it on eBay. It's kind of sad. That's been such a great little turbine, but it's time to move on. Anyway, that's what we got for today with the i500. Hopefully, before too long, we'll have it up in the air and we'll see what it does. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day.